Hello guys and welcome back to another video of Timber Partners, and today we'll be doing something a bit differently because we'll be looking into an insight of update 7. I know this was released like 3 weeks ago, but I just started playing the game 3 weeks ago and I just found out about this insight into update 7 that was released on Steam by the company, and so I decided to review it with you. I already read about it, some stuff, and so let's dive into it. The first thing that we need to focus is that the update will be about terrain, mostly about terrain and some buildings, as the two ways is one of them. They probably will add more than one building, but the major thing is terrain. And they say that they are adding 3D terrain. And you may ask, the terrain is already 3D. What they are saying that they are going to make the terrain 3D. Well, one of the major things in Timberborn as you unlock the dirt block is that you can only place the dirt blocks above other dirt blocks. But now, as we can see in here, you can place dirt block above above beaver made objects like housing, platforms, and among other stuff. So this now means that looking at this image over here, you can now have, let's say, a settlement, and then you put a bunch of platforms with these big platforms of metal, and then you can create an entire new farming area above it. So now this for a really small map helps a ton, really a ton, because let's say the gameplay that I'm going through, that I don't have more placing area. Now I can just put a bunch of platforms above it and then push a bunch of more terrain blocks and I create a new farming area. It's really material consuming, I know, but for the people that want to play a full gameplay or a full walkthrough and just fully going to the max and exploring all the map resources, this is really amazing. And I have to say that it's a really huge upgrade. Another thing that they say in here is that as you play the dirt blocks, they will also transfer irrigation and contamination. And I want to say and ask, is this going to solve the problem of contamination that we currently have? Where, let's imagine, you have a big dam and it's all the way up top. And when the bad water comes throughout the dam and goes out for the system that you created, the contamination goes from all the way up there, the block, let's say the block, because the dam is so high up, the block on the first column will be contaminated, but the block of the terrain that is also all the way down in the part of contamination will be contaminated. I will try to find out the picture that I have on my save that I can manage to show it to you, but that's a really big problem that Timberborn still has, and I think with these 3D blocks, we finally be able to solve it. But that's the first major update they are releasing, and now let's look into the second one, the tubeway. Now, I don't know if this will be only for the Iron faction and the Folktale. They say that they will want to make a distinct feature between these and the other factions, so there might be some changes, but this is probably guaranteed to be for the Iron faction, as you can see in here for the gameplay, but can be also for the Folktale. And basically, the two-way solves a problem that Timberborn has, which is as you grow your district more and more in population and more in area, the beavers travel a lot more, and they spend like what, a quarter or half a day just traveling to really far away goals that they might have, or workstations that are like what, 100 blocks away. And usually what you should do in this part is to create another district with the district crossing. Now the major problem in this is that as you create another district, you need to supply the new district with materials, resources, with like water, farming, and unless you import that from another district, which is quite buggy at that, and unless you or you can supply your district with their own self resources, it's like a ton of work that usually doesn't work it quite well. So the two-way will solve that problem, as you now can have like this sort of metro that goes across these two ways, and I don't know if this is powered by power. It doesn't seem it like it, but I assume the major building is. And they just travel like what, 10 times the speed of a beaver? Probably more, probably more. Now, the major critique that I have with this is that, as you can see it in here, it will take a lot of space. And so you need to have some good planning on how to do it. I'm seeing that you can have how many stations you want, and this can maybe go up in the air, but I assume that we'll have some platforms that have to support it. And one idea that I'm having is that maybe with the new terrain update, what you can do is like explode like a line, put it underground, and then just have the platforms and put the dirt block back over it again. So, like, I think that's the way to solve the problem space that these will require. But still, it's a cool update that I really am interested about. That again, this is just the short preview that we have. It's not even yet on experimental, as we can see it in here. Is not currently on the experimental branch that you can go on Steam and download it. It's still not up there, and as they will announce it, I will play it. But currently, that's all we know. And again, like I hope they had some more new stuff, but this is really cool and it will solve some probably one of the biggest problems that Timberborn still has, which is the terrain looking a bit funky and now the traveling time that is being totally reduced. But well, thank you guys all for watching. I know this is a really short video. If you are interested in subscribing, please do. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you guys for all watching the video and goodbye.